All right, for us, just again, proud of our team for being 8-0 and again finding a way to win the other night. Like how the guys have responded. Another late night getting back, and but I saw George at about 5:45 in the morning. He was there, man, amazing. But I tell you, I have an appreciation for all the people that work hard to keep it running. Keep the ship moving in the right direction. I mean, our managers and trainers and video, those folks. I mean, they got back at like 9 a.m. in the morning, and it's just not everybody could go on the plane. Some of them had to bust down, and so just have a great appreciation for all the hard work that people put in to keeping us heading in the right direction, and because it's a lot. The truck drivers, everybody that do a thankless job sometimes. So, but we're where we wanted to be. We're excited about being back at home. It's good to be in November. This is what we call the championship phase of our journey as we start. We started January the 12th, getting ready, transformation, prime time, and now we're in our championship phase of this year's journey, and trying to finish strong and be the best we can be. We got a great opportunity in front of us as a football team, and the best part about our team is we're 8-0, but we hadn't played our best football. I mean, we've still got a lot of improving to do. We still got a lot of coaching to do. We've got a lot, and it's really little things. Really, I think the big things are well in place here, but there's a lot of little things that we can improve upon. Just like the other night, I mean, the little things lead to big things, and it was some little things from that game the other night that led to some big things for the opponent. So that's what our focus is this week, is really cleaning up some of those things and some of the details. The pride in being a consistent performer, but these guys, I tell you, they're a great group to coach. Look forward to our meetings every Monday with our leadership guys, and always anxious to kind of see the look in their eye and how we are on those Monday night practices. And thought the guys were dialed in and excited. We've got 3 out of the next 4 at home, and so really looking forward to being in this championship phase and have an opportunity to be in front of our home crowd for the majority of the month, outside of 1 week. So got a 3:30 game. We're going to need a great crowd. I know we'll have that. It's Military Appreciation Week. Nobody does it better than Clemson. It's always a special day to be a part of it. Senior Day next week. So just a lot of great things going on here in Clemson. And basketball getting ready to crank it up. Women's soccer team won the ACC championship last week. There's just a lot of good things going on. It's a fun time to come and be a part of Clemson. So hopefully we'll have another outstanding crowd this week. And our guys are excited about getting back in front of the home crowd. Our last outing here, we played really hard. We played tough, but we had too many mistakes, and really put ourselves in a bad situation with the turnovers and red zone issues and all that stuff. But they're anxious to get back out and play here in Death Valley, play to the standard that we talk about, and that's our challenge this week. Syracuse, dangerous football team, really dangerous. I got a lot of respect for Dino, and really enjoyed kind of being around him a little bit in some of our meetings and getting to know him. I think he's a heck of a football coach. You can tell that the team has really responded, and I wanted to make a point to really watch them from the beginning, because it's a first-year staff, new coach, new staff, and how are they going to respond? And it's very, very easy if you watch them from the beginning through the season to see how those guys have bought in. They're energized. They're playing with tremendous effort. They have a lot of belief in what they're doing, and they're dangerous. They play incredibly fast on offense. Their quarterback Dungy is tough. He's instinctive. They got one of the top 3 or 4 receivers in the country, in Tawo, they're leading. He's the leading scorer. The quarterback's the second leading scorer, so he can run the football as well. But again, schematically, they present a lot of problems. All the run pass options that they have, the tempo, the freeze counts. They probably freeze 30% or so of the time every week. And so, kind of keeps you on the edge, and then the ball comes out. I think they're averaging less than 2 seconds that the ball is out of there. So, coverage is critical. They want to throw the football, they will run it. They want to they'll run the ball effectively, but they really are a team that's going to try to attack you through the air and, force you to spread out and have to match them, and again, play with a great tempo. These guys are really, really fast when it comes to what they're doing. So big challenge there, and looking forward to preparing for it this week. Defensively, same thing. As you watch them throughout the season and where they were at the very beginning of the season versus Louisville, Notre Dame, South Florida, to where they are now, they're just a different group. They present a lot of different looks. They're very, very multiple. A lot of exotic coverage stuff. They're a lot of Tampa 2, and then they'll bring a lot. They'll mix in their pressures, and a lot of zone pressures, a lot of 3 insert type of coverages. So they've done a nice job of really settling in and giving their guys the best opportunity to be successful. And that's what's happened. They're coming off of 2 really, really good wins against BC and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is a really good football team. Right now is in position to win the Coastal. And, they handled them, did a great job. So just very impressed with how they've matured and grown throughout the season. And, again, I think they're very confident and see an opportunity for a bowl game and to have a great first year with this new staff. And so for us, it's we need to play well to have a chance to win the game. And if we don't play well, we're going to be in a dadgum dogfight, to the end. And so I want to see our team come out and play to the standard that we've set and execute at a high level. That's our objective. And because again, as we get into this month of November, the air gets a little thinner. And so excited to get back out there and play well. But they've got, they've got a solid team and, again, well coached and got a lot of respect for who they are. As far as us, our guys, I think, are on the way to getting pretty healthy. We had a few guys banged up, and, right now expect everybody to be ready to go, but we'll see as the week goes.
Kind of get this out of the way. First college football playoff rankings come out tonight. Outside of maybe being in the top 4, do you care where you're at?
No, I really don't, because we lose this week, it won't matter where we are. As y'all heard me say last year, I don't think we can have a pizza party this year, though. I don't. It's in Orlando. I don't know if we can get back in time. Thank you. Larry Williams is requesting a pizza party, but. It just doesn't matter. I mean, everybody's got to have something to talk about. Everybody's got to have something to write about. That's what makes the world go around. That's what makes it fun. People want to watch good programming and have to deal with hypotheticals and if this and if that. But that's just not our world. For us, man, we gotta take care of business. That's just the bottom line. Let's take care of business. Let's find a way to get to 9-0. If we, just continue to take care of business, then in December or late November, then they matter. I don't know who was in the first poll. I know we were in the first poll last year. Who else was in? I know, but who else was in who were the other teams in the poll?
Alabama was the only other one that made the playoff.
LSU was in there.
Yeah, so there you go. So, I mean, whoever somebody's going to be 4 teams tonight, but if you're If you're in it, that don't mean you've got a golden ticket, and if you're not in it, that don't mean you're out of it. Just keep playing. I just think that's a dangerous world to get into when you're a coach or a player. I think you better stay locked in to what you're doing, because it's a mad dash to the finish.
Coach, I'm sure you're aware that with the win the other night, you passed Florida State for second in wins since 2011. Alabama has 70, y'all have 64. Do you have to pinch yourself sometimes when you think about things like that and the consistency that you've built here?
Pinch myself. No, I don't really pinch myself because it's not magic. It's not magic. It's not poof. And it happens. Man, it's just a lot of hard work, and I'm very proud of the program that we've built, and I think that that's what we set out to do. We wanted to become an incredibly consistent program, to become a relevant program, and there's a lot that has to go into that, and that was literally from day one. All right, here's where we are. We're not down here, but we're not here, and so we're kind of here. How do we get there? Well, there's a lot of things that have to go into place. You don't do it overnight, and you learn and you grow as you go through that whole process. But I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish, and I've said many times, y'all have heard me say, and used to say it to our staff a lot in the early days. I would say, I'd really, that might help us have a better team this year, or it may help us in the short run, but that's never been my focus. My focus has always been building a great program, and doing it the right way, and not taking shortcuts, and just worrying about having a good team. I've never focused on that. Even in 2010. And it's interesting because in 2010 we had 5 losses by 6 points or less, and this year we got 5 wins by 6 points or less, and that's program, that's culture, it's all of those things. So I don't really pinch myself or anything like that. It just kind of validates what we've been doing for 8 years around here. Not what we just started doing this year or last year. For 8 years, just building a foundation and trying to put a program in place that we can all be proud of, a program that prides itself on winning, but winning the right way, graduating its players, and at a high level. And to me, that's the thing that I'm most proud of, is there's nobody out there, that has done what we've done on the field and off the field. When it comes to winning on the field and graduating their players, the last 4 or 5 years, nobody. And so, we've come a long way, but 8 games don't make a season this year, and it's all about the here and now. And you go lose this week, there'll be plenty of bad articles talking about how we're going backwards. So, I just try to stay focused on what we're doing right now and see if we can keep moving in the right direction.
You mentioned being in the championship phase of a season. What does that mean in terms of how you're approaching each week? For us, again, you start, I think we're 294, 95 days since January 12th that we've been working to get to this point. And, you do all that work, and now over the next 20-something days, we've got a chance to clinch a division title, opportunity for a state championship, and play our way into an ACC championship, win an ACC championship. You got a chance for a playoff opportunity. There's a lot at stake here. There's a lot. So, again, just playing our best football, really applying the lessons that we've learned to this point, and, mad dash to the finish line.
Dabo, when you hired Chad Morris, y'all used tempo, I guess, largely because nobody else was really doing it, sort of as a change of pace. Now that it's become more normal, how has your philosophy on tempo changed over the years since
Really hasn't changed much, to be honest with you. We still try to play with great tempo. We want to get 80-plus plays. I think we had 84
84 gradable plays the other night, 81 countable plays, I guess. But, we strive to get 80-plus plays. That's what we're shooting for. Sometimes games dictate different things based on, you get leads or whatever, or certain situations, and you slow it down. But I think back then, everybody was telling me that we were going to stink on defense. You might have asked me that question back in 11 of who was that?
That was Bart.
Oh, it was Bart. Okay. He's in Hawaii now. No, I don't know, but a lot of y'all, and it was a good question. I mean, it wasn't a bad question. I just think that the narrative back then from the other side, the dark world, the old school, how dare you change some games or philosophies or whatever, was, well, you'll never win a championship with that type of offense. You'll never be good on defense. It just was assumed you were going to be terrible on defense. And I don't hear that anymore. And my message back then, the way I answered the question is, I don't think we got enough data to say that. That was exactly what I said. We don't have enough. Let's just wait and see. Let's look and see 2 or 3 years down the road and see if there's some data to support that. People just love to throw these theories out there without any data, or they might have a very small, pool of data and just paint with a broad brush. And I think the game has changed in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, for us, we love tempo, but we're not, and I've never wanted to be the air raid offense. It's not who we are. We want to run the football. We're very rarely do we not have a two-back presence with a tight end in the game. You hardly ever see us in 10 personnel. We always have the ability to have that two-back mentality and presence, and then with what we do with our quarterback too, it presents, a different run game opportunity. So that's what we do, and we've been pretty good at it. And the flip side of it is we've been really good on defense. We practice tough. We practice good on good. We train tough. We're built from the inside out. We're built in the trenches, and that's why we've been successful.
Sort of the distinction between you and like a Syracuse is that they do it all the time, whereas y'all do it to your advantage.
Yeah. We still want to take advantage of the matchups. We still, we want to make sure that, we get in the best play and certain things like that. They play. I think they've got a lot of to play that fast. You got to have some packages, and so where the quarterback's going to, you're trying to force the defense to be a little simpler. You're trying to force the defense just because you don't have a lot of time, to make a lot of exotic calls, because defensive football, you got, where's the strength, where's the formation, and okay, they're snapping the ball. Whew, you better have a call. You better give yourself a chance. So it forces defenses to have to simplify a little bit, and so now all of a sudden you got some packages built in to where there's no substitutions, there's no receivers flipping sides. Here we go, no motions, and all right, you're playing the game of okay, what's on top, what's in the box. All right, they're two safety and they're covered down outside. Hey, we're running the ball, and probably it's a zone read concept with some type of run pass option built into it, in case they do trigger on the snap, because there's a pre-snap and a post-snap read that has to take place. And now all of a sudden it's a two-safety look, but they've kind of cheated into the box. There's an uncovered situation. Now they probably, again, here comes the action RPO stuff built in. Now it's you get a tip, it's pressure, it's one safety, or it's two safety that is going to go one safety. Okay, you got your quick game built into it. And you probably got 2 or 3 plays that you can go to with maybe a double move built in somewhere, where you do have an option to get the ball down the field. But the ball isn't being held. It's coming out. So you're protecting yourself versus sack opportunities. And that's how you play fast like that. And they do a tremendous job with it. But you got to have a quarterback, and you got to have good skill. And then all of a sudden you build in all the freeze counts and things like that, because you're getting people lathered up, and here they come, and boom, there's penalties. And you take those. Now you're 1st and 5. And you try to stay in opportunistic situations. And again, they do a great job. They have a good understanding of their scheme and what they do, and it's very challenging. Very challenging.
Coach, you last week that Austin Bryant was pretty close to pre-injury form, and sure enough, he got a couple sacks on Saturday. How important is having him back in the rotation when you're facing a high-tempo offense like that?
He's a great player. Anytime you get a great player back on your team, it's very important. He looked like a creature, didn't he? Just arms coming up. I mean, that was awesome to see him have that success. You know, he's from Thomasville, so right down the road. But he played great. He played great. Cleveland was the player of the game. He played great, and Christian's played great all year. Jurgen and Register have played well. Also, we got a good group. And so anytime you get a guy like that plugged back in, especially this time of year where you're in position, being in position doesn't get it done for you. You know, that's what I always tell the guys. You can be in position to win the game, but you still got to win the game. You know, you can be in position to win the division, but you still got to go win it. And so anytime you get a guy like that back, it helps you with your calls. Yeah. Yep.
Going back to the air raid, is there a reason you don't want to be a 10 personnel offense or air raid offense?
Yeah, because I love tight ends. I think the tight end is a critical part to what we do. It's hard for us to run the powers and the counters and the things that we love. That's what we do. I mean, we're a zone, split flow zone, power counter football team, and with some stuff on the edge, and that tight end is critical. I mean, it's critical to what we do, to have the physical presence that we want to have with what our style of play is, and so it's critical.
Tight end coach, could you talk to us about Jordan Leggett's game on Saturday night?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it's good to see him have such great success. First couple games, you guys are asking me what's wrong with Jordan Leggett. What happened? Ain't nothing wrong with Jordan Leggett. We got to play the season. Let's just go play the season. Some games you have more opportunities than other. The first couple games he was targeted a bunch. It just didn't work out. I mean, that's just the nature of being a receiver, if you will. Coverage has got to be right. Quarterback's got to make the right read. It's got to be the right throw. Protection's got to be good. You've got to run the right route. There's a lot that goes into it. That's why I always challenge those guys to maximize your opportunities when they come. And he's just too good a player. And as we've gotten into the flow of the season, he's just shown up. And the other night was a tremendous opportunity with how they played with the middle of the field. With some of their coverages, we saw an opportunity to attack him. We felt like going in the game he would have a big game, and he did. They had a couple of busts, but it was some well-designed stuff and good protection and the right reads by Deshaun. And we missed him just barely off on one of them. We ended up right before we kicked that long field goal. We had another really good opportunity there, and it was a great effort by Jordan and just good, just a tight throw by Deshaun. They were just a little off right there, but he played a heck of a game, and his confidence is just through the roof. But what he's really done a good job of, he's become a much better presence for us in the run game. He's made a lot of blocks this year that people don't really say much about, but I do. I pay attention to how he's become a more complete player this year, and that's what he came back to do. So I'm really proud of him. He's become a great leader, and he's just 100% bought into what he's got to do to be great, and to the philosophy of our program here.